Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolar Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette owners from around the world. It's time to get the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here twice per month, every other week, to keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. How is everything?
Oh, glad to be back here. Working hard. It's crazy stuff going on as usual in the Corvette Nation, so we're here to try to make some sense of it if we can.
We will do our very best, buddy. As we always do, let's start off with Corvette Production at the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
So, Steve, last week we surpassed 14,000 Stingrays for the 2023 model year, and that's not to mention how many more with the 70th anniversary, obviously, which had their own VIN. Unfortunately, we also announced that the Corvette assembly plant is closed this week due to part shortages. The supply chain, that monster is raising its ugly head again, and we got caught. So it looks like we're off for the week, but the plant is expected to reopen on October 24th. We understand also that there's going to be some other work going on inside the plant, maintenance and that kind of stuff, but also the Performance Build Center is going to keep running, which is important because that's where the LT6s are assembled. Even though the Corvette assembly plant, the assembly line itself will be shut down, there is still work going on. And of course, any cars that are completed and ready to ship will also be shipping during that time. Our last shutdown was August 29th, about 6 weeks ago. Who knows if we can go another 6 to 8 weeks without another shutdown? I think we would take that, Steve.
I think I'd take that for sure. Well, that was the bad news about the shutdown. We do have good news, Keith. Bowling Green built almost 8,000 Corvettes in the third quarter.
Yeah, it sure did. They released the sales results by quarters over the last couple of years now. So we're able to compare them to the previous time period last year. You know, last year it seemed like things were really coming along and people were getting excited out again. Third quarter of 2021 had 10,166 cars sold versus the 7,939. So it was a decline, almost 22% based on what we saw the year before. And again, it's these shutdowns and the lower production days that are just killing us for those. But for the calendar year to date, we are seeing a total of 25,380 new Corvettes being delivered. These are North American sales, but this is tracking ahead of where we were last year by about 2.6%. It would be interesting to find out last year, calendar year sales, North America sales was 33,000. It'd be nice to surpass that.
Definitely. You know, I saw something, Keith, that was interesting about the new upcoming C8 Z06. Most of the orders that are coming in are for the hardtop convertibles. Nobody wants to see the engine under the glass, I guess.
Yeah, these are interesting because they're such preliminary numbers that we can't really base the whole production line off of just these 14 cars. Our friends at MidAmerica Corvette Forum were able to get a little bit of a breakout of these first 14 customer ordered cars. We know that one of them was Rick Hendrick's 70th anniversary coupe. We know that there's also a couple convertibles in there, some 70th anniversaries. We actually got the breakdown, and you are right. Of the 14 cars, 12 are hardtop convertibles, 2 are coupes, and then 5 of those 14 cars were also ordered with custom VINs. That's actually something that you can't do anymore. General Motors has suspended any custom VINs for the rest of the 2023 model year. So these people were lucky to get theirs. And then finally, of those 14 cars, 8 of them were Z07s. Pretty interesting stats there. We understand that since we got those first 14, that maybe another 7 or 8 had been built. We just don't have specs on those cars yet.
Got it. And it's still under a quality control hold on the Z06s, right?
Yeah, in fact, we just confirmed this late last week. These cars that are built, we know the first one got built, we believe, September 21st. They're all sitting up there still. In fact, the dealers don't have the invoices yet. So when you talk to a dealer, when they get that dealer invoice, generally that car is ready to ship and go, and they do what they need to do with it. But yeah, they're still waiting on that information. And then again, with the slowdowns and the week off here, you've got some other things going on. Whether or not they'll release those cars or continue to hold them, we're just still waiting. Generally, what they want to do is they'll hold a representative quantity of them. So if they find something on a car, they can go back and check these other cars just to say, okay, when did this start? Was this something that just happened that one day? Has it been going on since the beginning of production? So they generally will hold a represented quantity of cars before they release them. And then once they start releasing them, they'll be more active. We did have a screenshot. Again, this is not really applicable because of the week off from Bowling Green, but a guy was getting his car built on October 20th and had R8C delivery scheduled at the museum for just 2 weeks later. If that could be the cadence, I know a lot of people would be excited about that.
Definitely get excited about that. And we did have more good news, buddy. The Edge Red calipers and the LT2 engine covers are available again. What's going on with that?
Well, we told you back in July, a Chevrolet's paint vendor, their plant in East St. Louis, Illinois, exploded and caught fire, damaging the facility, injuring 2 workers. This is the plant that makes the high-temp Edge Red paint. It's a copyrighted or trademark formula, so it's just not something that we could do at another plant. That really caused issues, especially because Edge Red is used on the 70th anniversary package. It's on the brake calipers, and then the Stingray gets the LT2 Edge Red cover on it. Those all went away for a couple order cycles there, but looks like now they're back and that they can be right back again on the 70th anniversaries, as well as people can order them standalone. We also got some constraint issue from last week because it was an order cycle. We've talked a little bit about those gloss black wheels, the 20-spoke wheels. They are 100% constrained, meaning that there's no wheels available anywhere. Also on 100% constraint is the carbon flash metallic high wings. And this kind of was a little surprise. The chrome wheel locks all of a sudden showed up on the 100% constraint list as well. There's some things out there, a lot of those things that we talked about, they can be ordered afterwards, especially the high wing. We're dealing with this kind of stuff, and it looks like this is just par for the course with these supply chain issues.
Boy, it's a never-ending battle, buddy. That's for darn sure. And finally, Keith, GM had issued a TechLink article, and this was in response to the C8 headlights coming on during the day. What's going on with that?
Yeah, because people are noticing when your headlights are on, you get the little green illumination light on your dash.
Right.
And so people were seeing these coming on, and some people said they were coming on and go off and come back on again, go off and come back on again. And it just turns out it's a programming error in the body control module that reads the sensor and decides, okay, is there enough lighting for your full headlamps, or do you need just to run the daytime running lights? This is an issue that's not only affecting Corvette, but also the 2022 Tahoe, Suburban, Yukon, and Escalades.
Wow.
For the Corvette, it's the 2022 Corvette and the 2023 Corvette, but it's not all of them, obviously. It's just here and there, it seems like. They do have a software fix. This is an over-the-air fix for the 2022 cars, but we're still waiting for something on the 2023 Corvette. So they just say if it's starting to get dim outside, just make sure that that illumination light is set on your dash. And if you've got your headlights set to auto, maybe just turn them back over to on so you know for sure that they are illuminated.
That's a good idea. Well, buddy, let's take our first break. And when we come back, it's time for Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability. And it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum when we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 mid-engine Corvette or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette. That includes the front splitter, side skirts, engine appearance panels, and engine fluid caps. Plus, we now also carry the C8 Speedline side skirts along with the engine appearance package and high wing. Our products have been featured in Vet and Corvette magazines. Give us a call, 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Let us help you make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be. American Hydrocarbon.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at RadiatorGrillStore.com.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me every other week is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger. We keep you current and up to date on what's going on in the world of Corvette. In this second segment, we talk about Corvette Racing and Corvette rumors. Keith, it was really cool to see. I love this car. Corvette Racing showed the first look of the 2024 C8 GT3.R.
Yeah, this is an exciting time for people that want to race these factory-based race cars, and that's exactly what this is going to be. The GT3R is based on the Z06 production car. Just like the C8R, they'll both use the same engine, the 5.5-liter double overhead cam LT6. It's kind of a racing spec version of it. This is going to debut sometime in 2024. We do know that they are going to be targeting U.S. teams. Laura Klauser just gave some statements on this to effect. U.S.-based teams will be the priority, but they're also looking at some Europe and Asian teams as well. We do know that they need to build 20 of these cars to fully homologate. I think the plan had been to do like 10 the first year and 10 the second year, but she says interest is high and it's pretty exciting now. If you've seen the car, it looks like the Z06 and the C8R. It's got this great wing on the back, but like the race car, you just don't lift up the hatch to get access to the engine. That whole rear comes off, and so engineers or mechanics can have full access to the engine. This car was driven up at Milford Proving Grounds by Antonio Garcia, but we also understand that some of the other drivers have been in it. They do like it. So we're going through a transition here for GT Racing. We've been racing in IMSA this year on a waiver. Looks like we're going to do that again next year. We definitely have plans to go racing with this GT3 car. Whether or not we'll be able to do a factory team or will it be an amateur style setup, that's all still waiting to be seen. But good to see the first car out there. Hopefully we'll be able to see it before like the Rolex or some next races next year where we can actually see some previews of it.
I love that car. It's a great looking car. And this next story, Keith, falls under the racing category and the rumors category. I don't know if we've ever had that in the 2.5 years we've done the news and headline shows, but Racer Magazine is speculating on changes for Corvette Racing, both in IMSA and the WEC. What are they talking about?
Yeah, again, a lot of speculation. We're still waiting to hear. Again, we read these interviews with Laura Klauser, the program manager for Corvette Racing and the Chevrolet Racing. It's still kind of up in the air. So what we understand, and this is what Racer Magazine's been speculating, is that we'll probably continue that one-car strategy and one in IMSA and then one in the WEC, the World Endurance Championship, for next year. We'll do a factory car again, but the WEC will be a GT amateur team. So it might be Tommy paired up with an amateur driver, a bronze-rated driver.
Gotcha.
We don't know. I just found out, guess who's a bronze-rated driver now?
Who?
Johnny O'Connell.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great to have Johnny O back doing some stuff with us?
That'd be awesome.
So that's what we're looking at, a one-car strategy for IMSA and the WC, and that might lead to only having one GT car at Le Mans as well for next year. That would be a huge difference for Corvette Racing, where we've always gone with two cars.
Right.
Of course, there's been a couple years where I know there was that accident with Jan Magnussen that we could only race the one car, but we've always had a two-car strategy, so it'd be a big difference to throw all our eggs into one basket and go racing with just the one car. But it sounds like that's what's going to happen. As far as personnel, they're hearing that Nick Tandy is likely moving back to drive for Porsche in IMSA.
Huh.
Nothing said about a factory team for GT Pro in 2024, so all that's still up in the air.
Okay. Well, speaking of Corvette Racing, Oliver Gavin had a great video out driving Z06s from C5 all the way through C8.
Yeah, he was at the test with the YouTubers and auto journalists for the Z06 at Pit Race a couple weeks back. So it looks like they were able to film some of these PR-style videos where they go out and have fun. He drives the Z06 for the C5, the C6, and the C7, then leading up to the C8. He's able to give his history on. Of course, his first factory race car that he drove with Corvette was the C5R. So he's been driving these cars just as long as a lot of these engineers have been. So that's how it ended up closing, was that he was joined with Aaron Link, Mike Hurley, and Brian Wallace, who are all these factory engineer, ride and handling engineers. They kind of had a little fun with each of the cars on the track. And it just shows again how the C8 Z06 with that 670 horsepower LT6 flat plane crank engine just has really evolved from the looks, from the sounds, from the performance, how far these cars have come in the last 25 years.
That's cool. That's very cool. And finally, Keith, the C8 Corvettes in Australia have been recalled for a non-compliant lighting issue. What the heck is a non-compliant lighting issue?
No, see, I thought that, okay, we saw the GM Tech link. I heard about this. Are these related? And actually, it's not, because the program is a little bit different, I guess, on these switches. But due to a software issue, they were saying that when the master light switch was set to automatic, you'd have the headlights, the tail lamps, the parking lamps, the license plate lamps, everything would turn on, and the daytime running lamps would be turned off.
Oh.
So obviously, during the day, if it's bright out, you just want the DLRs to be on and nothing else. A little bit of a reprogramming issue. I think it affects just over 100 cars. Sometimes you find out after the fact that not everything was done exactly to spec. And it just sounds like the program was a little bit off on that.
Well, hopefully they can do an over-the-air update on that as well and have that taken care of.
Most likely, if not, a quick trip to the service center shouldn't take too long.
There you go. Buddy, let's take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk about the lighter side of Corvette here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
MidAmerica Motorworks has been the industry leader and aftermarket supplier and manufacturer of Corvette replacement parts and accessories since 1974. We have what you need for all years and generations of Corvette. Whether you need a door panel or seat cover for your C1 Corvette, or the latest shirt, jacket, hat, or lifestyle accessory to complement your new C8, you can get it at MidAmerica Motorworks. So if you're restoring, repairing, replacing, or simply researching your Corvette, MidAmerica Motorworks is the place to go. Visit our website at mamotorworks.com and shop Corvettes by generation or specific year. Or call us Monday through Saturday toll-free at 800-500-1500 and talk to one of our Corvette experts to help you get the right part or accessory. Pursue your passion with MidAmerica Motorworks.
Check out the first Corvette-only auction website at 427stingray.com/Corvette Today. You can sign up to bid and comment on more than 40 Corvettes every week. That's 427stingray.com/Corvette Today. Join the community.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Hey, thanks again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com or call them 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Just remember, all these stories that we talk about on this show, you can get the deeper dive at CorvetteBlogger.com. In this final segment, we talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, our favorite Corvette person, Emelia Hartford, set not one but 2 speed track records while she was testing the C8 Z06. Talk about those 2 records that she set.
Yeah, well, the Queen of Speed is back at it, which kind of makes sense because this is what she's known for with her C8 Stingray Phoenix, just trying to get this car to go faster. We had all the YouTubers and magazines, they all came out with their reviews, but with her special relationship that she has going on with Chevrolet, she actually had access to 2 press cars and then had the access early. So she actually has been sitting on some of this content for almost a month now, including this where she took the Z07 Coupe to the racetrack and ran some quarter-mile times. The idea was to beat the official time of 10.6 seconds. Now, the way General Motors does their testing, they're so conservative. So they take 10 different cars. I think they're all driven by the same driver. They ran quarter miles on them, and then they averaged that time to get the 10.6. So they say, well, it's representative over the 10 cars. It's not just the one car that they ran a bunch of times. It's interesting how they did that. So that was her time to beat, the 10.6 seconds. The other thing, too, is that when GM released that number, they never did tell us what any of the trap times were. So it's always interesting to find that out. She was able to actually beat that record with some work and optimization of the launch control settings, which you can actually do that now with the Z06. You can set the custom certain parameters for launch control. And she was able to run the quarter mile in 10.51 at 130 miles an hour. Officially, that's the fastest time going. I don't know if I've seen anybody else do an official quarter mile time yet with the Z06. So 10.51. As she was also doing that, she was running the performance data recorder. And so they went back and looked at the PDR of her quarter mile time and found that the official 0 to 6 time of 2.6 seconds, she beat that. It was 2.2 seconds was what the PDR told her. Again, massive grip on these tires, the 345s, these race spec Michelins, they just grip. It's a different kind of launch control with these cars because there's hardly any kind of tire spin. These cars just hook up immediately, and these times show it. The other thing she did too was then another video came out where she raced the Z06 on an airstrip against her Ferrari 458 and a friend's Lamborghini Huracan Evo. I know a lot of people are thinking, wow, it's going to be interesting to watch this Huracan Evo versus the Z06. And the Z06 killed it, Steve. I mean, just absolutely was walking away from the Evo. And, you know, the Evo is a $300,000 car. It weighs 3,400 pounds. It's lighter than the Z06. Only has 600 horsepower compared to 670. But on paper, you would think that the race would be a lot closer. But 2 or 3 different races that she showed, the Z06 was walking away each time with it. Pretty amazing video. And I think that's really kind of the stuff people want to see. We always talk about the YouTubers and some of their antics can be a little tiring, but as far as going up against these exotics, seeing what it can do at the racetrack, that's exactly the kind of things that I think I want to see. And I would agree that most people would want to see that as well.
I agree with you totally. And I love Lamborghini, but it was so cool to see that video and see her just crush the 458 and the Huracan Evo. And again, you're talking about a $332,000 car for Lamborghini. Lord knows what the Ferrari is. And the Z06 is probably $150,000, $160,000. So it's a great car. And 2.2 seconds on 0 to 60. Wow. That's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, it's going to be fun once people start getting their cars and are able just to go out and do it themselves. We did see that with Stingray when it came out in 2020. People would go out and post. The idea was to beat the 3.0, the 2.9. So we'd see 2.8, and people would say, oh, I got a 2.6. I remember Speed Phenom when he got a 2.6 on his 0 to 60. So it's not really a surprise to see the official time for the 0 to 60 on the Z06 actually be less than what is advertised, just again because Chevy's so conservative.
It's an amazing car. It is truly an amazing car. I can't wait until they come out in bulk and they start building them and shipping them out. Also, Keith, the 2023 Z06 made its first appearance at the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, I just call it the UAE, Steve. It's a lot easier that way.
Yep.
There's a show over there, the Automotive show, and Chevrolet had a really nice display. They had a base model hypersonic gray Z06 with the black spider wheels like in the circular display area, but then around it they had all generations of other Corvettes parked facing outwards. So it really made for a dynamic photo. It's the first time that the Z06 model has been showed in the Middle East, and the press release from Chevrolet Media actually says the cars will go on sale sometime early next year. They won't do huge numbers, but there'll be a significant number of exports. I think the Middle East was actually number 2 in exports for Stingray last year. We'll have to go back and look at that. We know a lot of people would love to have that car, and you think about those wide open spaces where you can run them as fast as you want to. That would make for some pretty exciting runs.
I'd love to see what the MSRP is going to be in the Middle East. That'll be interesting.
I have no idea what it's going to be, but it shouldn't be too much. And again, the nice thing about the Middle Eastern market is that it's very closely spec'd to what we have here in the United States, unlike Europe where they have to run the particulate filters, which means that they get the outboard exhaust systems. For the most part, these are very similar spec cars to the United States ones.
Very true. And Keith, our final story, we had a great video tracing the history of the Z06 and its performance. It was a great video to watch.
Yeah, I like these. And, you know, the idea is that there are so many people that are new to Z06, just like the C8. I think the official stats originally for C8 Stingray was that 2 out of 3 were new to Chevrolet, which is a number that blows my mind considering how many repeat Corvette customers I know moved to the C8. But you think about all these people, and we see it all the time. You know, we will look at Mike Furman's Sunday Post and the other people that announce, hey, we're getting their car. So it is a big deal, but yet many people don't realize that the Z06 is one of these monikers that's been around. Actually started in 1963. The idea was Zora wanted a factory-ready race car that could also be driven on the streets, and that's what you got with the Z06. Of course, it came back as a C5, and then it's just been part of us ever since then. And so this is just a nice illustration to go through what makes the Z06 special in each generation. It's generally centered around the motors. If you haven't seen this, it was done by a guy named 337 Speed. It was a pretty cool primer, so we definitely recommend people watching it.
Yeah, it's a great video, that's for sure. Well, Keith, thanks for being back on Corvette Today. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Sounds great, Steve. Everybody out there, we see you. Keep waving and keep the faith. Things are going well with Corvette, even though we're off and we're having supply chain issues. There's not a better American sports car out there than the Corvette. Just have faith. These things will smooth out. We'll get through them and we'll move on.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today. And please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com. True Wealth & Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. MidAmerica Motorworks at MAMotorworks.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.